I named him after Felden of the Third Path. So, Felden of the Third Path was printed in a commander set or something, but he's in the story. He's in the original brother.
The following ad is being condensed for your viewing convenience.
I just switched to Geico, saved a whole bunch.
Car insurance, huh?
Yeah, saving money? Super easy.
Oh man, who doesn't like saving money? Am I right?
I'm not cleaning that up.
Hello. What's up tonight, everyone? Welcome. The many awesome dude. How goes it? Uh-oh, we're getting the echo. Alright, fixed. What's up, Nightbot? MTG Bot, so many bots tonight. Scorch Kid, Paranormal Activa, Carnifax, Fearless Joe, T. Goodland. We have a new subscriber right off the back, Creds Freak. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Oh, what's up, Fearless Joe? The Mom, how goes it? Drankgog. Have a deck I want you to try and maybe tweak. It's called Rack and Taxes. Ooh. Well, yeah. Send me a link or something. Dragon Mage 28, welcome to the Fishbowl. And Paranormal Activa, welcome you as well. Big scoops cheers for our new subscribers. Yeah, I was pretty happy with Gideon Tribal. Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I was surprised how sweet it was. So we'll talk about it. I'm still trying to figure out the last few slots, and I'm definitely open for suggestions because that's where we're at right now. Oh well, awesome, Creds Freak. 2 months in a row. Yeah, the deck is definitely sweet. First off, I mean, of course, the big thing is Felidar Guardian banned. We got to talk about that right away. So that, oh my goodness, Felidar Guardian banned. I don't even know exactly how to start with this. I mean, overall, it's a good thing for Standard. It's a great thing for Standard. Oh, awesome, Kevin G. Well, we're playing some more Gideons tonight. So overall, good, great, wonderful, awesome thing for Standard. Felidar Guardian banned. That is what had to be done. I'm so much more hopeful about Standard. I'm interested in watching the Pro Tour now. I mean, I'd have to watch it anyway because that's part of what I do, but I'm actually excited for it in the SCG events. Professor, PhD 6 months in a row, thanks for the content. Excited for Saheeli to be affordable and modern. Ooh, that's a good point. Well, welcome back, Professor. Appreciate the support. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. So, that's the awesome thing. The part that is so confusing is how they apparently thought it was the wrong thing to do on Monday, and then it's the right thing to do on Wednesday, and the Moto data argument doesn't really make sense to me. Like, everyone's playing Amonkhet release events, there's card availability issues because the set just released, so you can't really learn anything from the Moto data. That argument is just so silly, and it's even scarier to think that they were actually meaning that, because if they're actually relying on like a day and a half of partial data during one of the weirdest times in the year to analyze Standard to make decisions, that's almost scarier than if they were just like using that as an excuse. So the process of getting to the banning is troubling and confusing, but the end result is awesome, and I think that it is worth it. So I'm super... Oh man, I'm just so happy. I'm actually excited to play Standard again. We'll have Standard for Budget Magic starting next week, against the Odds starting next week. Meyer102, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. I actually have super high hopes for Amonkhet Standard. I actually think it's going to be really good. I really believe that. I mean, you never know. You'll have to see how things shake out. Could Green-Black Energy be like this dominant, crazy deck? You never know. Something like that could happen. But I actually have really high hopes right now that the format's going to be diverse and fun, and people are going to love it and start going back to their F&Ms. And it's just going to, when we look back on this 6 months, a year, whatever in the future, that it was going to be the right choice and work out awesomely. Joel 102, the hype for streaming is getting out of hand. I almost edited out that pun. Welcome back to Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. So, what do I think decks will replace Felidar and Saheeli? There's so many awesome things now. Like, that's the awesome part. I don't know. I mean, Green-Black Energy and Temur Spells decks seem like they are likely to gain because they're already known decks, but cycling decks are a possibility now. Revisiting Kaladesh stuff, from Ether Flux Reservoir to Metalwork Colossus seems like a possibility now. New decks from Amonkhet. Like, there's so many things. So the next few weeks of brews and tournaments and all that stuff is going to be super awesome and super exciting. Hess and Bob, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Will we have a decent cat tribal deck in Standard without Guardian? No, but we probably were not going to have a decent cat tribal deck anyway. I mean, you can still play cat tribal. Oh, geez. Whoa. If this is legit, this is pretty interesting. This is not confirmed. It's on Reddit, and I also saw it on Twitter, but return of the core sets? That would be something. I wonder what that would mean to 2-set blocks and so forth. Geez, so much happening in the Magic world at the moment. Alright, so let's do our reminders, then we gotta talk Gideons, then we'll get into our league, and then we can talk Felidar Guardians and core sets and everything. Super excited. SCG Atlanta is this weekend, right? Like, oh, I'm so excited for that now. I would have sort of halfway watched just to see how much of a massacre it was without the bannings, but I'm legitimately so excited for tournaments and for brewing, and man, I know there's a cost, and I feel bad for people who like waited till the BNR and were like, okay, now I'm gonna buy the copycat deck and got hammered by it. It sucks and it's horrible, and I wish it didn't happen, but I really think this is one of the greater good situations. Shouldn't we be playing Miracles on this last chance? I don't think Miracles is very entertaining. Plus, if you want to watch Miracles, you got Joe Lissette, who Miracle Master. You'd probably learn way more from him playing Miracles. I do enjoy Miracles, though. With or Without Plan, 7 months in a row. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. All right, so let's do the reminders. First off, MTG Goldfish Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this stream tomorrow or the next day. So if you're looking to catch up or you missed part of a stream, check that out. The normal YouTube, of course. If you didn't catch it, Against Odds, Getting Tribal from yesterday. Have Standard from Amonkhet, top 10, coming up with Chaz tonight. Recorded a This or That with Tomer today, but that won't be for another week at least. Goat Magic is currently at the editor, so that'll be coming up soon. Commander Clash, all the sweet stuff on the channel. And, of course, the merch page. And, there's going to be more sweet stuff happening with that before long. I'm very hopeful, but make sure to check that out too if you're looking for another way to support the stream or the channel or the site. We could watch him, but we wouldn't get to watch all the punts. That's true. If you're looking for punts, you are probably in the right place. Issa Dalu, welcome to the Fishbowl. Lots of subs today already. Thank you, everyone. Definitely appreciate the support. All right, so we got to talk about this deck. Yeah, that's awesome. I have noticed some places refunding Saheeli decks that were purchased recently. So this is very close to the deck we played on Against the Odds. The Against the Odds deck had a few things that were kind of more against the odds, especially after playing it, than they need to be if we're going to try to play a competitive league and try to win. Valendon, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Yes, we are playing this. So, the new cards to the deck since the Against the Odds deck are these cards here. So, basically, and some land changes, but basically, Oath of Gideon, I don't think is very necessary or good. Anointed Procession did not seem necessary or good. So those were the main cuts. Also went down one big Gideon. Not really sold on whether this is... I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm torn between 2 and 3 on Gideon Jura. I do like the symmetry of 4-3-2 going up the curve, but... So that's what we have going as far as changes. So in the place of those cards, we have 4 Wall of Omens, a Collective Brutality, which is actually over an Inquisition. I went down 1 Inquisition for a Collective Brutality. I think that's fine. 3, 3, and 1. And then Liliana is like the last card. I've been bouncing with this card so much. Liliana the Veil has potential. A whole nother Planeswalker, something completely different. My thinking with Liliana, even though it feels weird with only Wall of Omens as actual creatures, is it's pretty good at shooting down go wide things, Lingering Souls tokens, aggro creatures, and it is another way to finish the game. So I'm definitely open for suggestions. I'm pretty set, apart from bouncing back and forth on these Gideons, the correct number, I'm pretty set with all the cards in in this section. Oh, mana base wise, went down the Windbrisk Heights because they were clunky and tapped, added Ghost Quarters, which I think makes it a little bit better. Kyle Moto, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. So basically, we have 5 main deck slots that we can work with. And I kind of want something in the 2-drop slot, not necessarily. Liliana could be anything. We could literally put anything in this Liliana slot. T-Just-T, keep up all the great puns. Well, I will try. Thank you for your subscription. 7 months in a row. Big scoops here for our re-subscriber. What if you played 4 Bitter Blossoms in Wall and Liliana the Veil over the new one? The new one is better with creatures. That is true. Bitter Blossom is a possibility. Aethersphere Harvester. I don't think we're going Scepter Silence. Bitter Blossom would be something to consider. The other thing we don't really have in this deck is we're not really trying to abuse the Gideon emblem, but that's probably good. One card I was considering, though, would be like maybe a one of Slaughter Pact is a good gotcha card. It's a more non-conditional removal spell. I mean, I guess we got Pass. I don't know if we need more removal. But I don't know. I'm pretty happy with running it like this. So the other thing is our sideboard. So the main important part of our sideboard is we have a lot of 3-ofs, but we have plans for most matchups. So if we're playing against spell-based combo decks, depending on the build, we have Leylines of Sanctities and we have Rest in Pieces against Storm. So we can go down creature removal, and then we're going to have a ton of discard, which is good against combo anyway, and a bunch of good sideboard cards. Fulminators for Tron and Control, Silence, the typical stuff, Affinity, Tron, random fringe decks, Caraclan Ironwork, stuff like that. And then the other slot I'm really not sure on is Kitchen Finks. I want an aggro card in the sideboard for matchups where we're going to want to take out maybe, I don't know, Thought Seizes, say? I am the evil one, 2 months in a row. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. So, I don't know. So this is where we're at right now. I'm fine with trying out Wall of Omens, but these are the slots that I'm still considering. The rest of the stuff I'm pretty happy with. Heart of Kieran I think is better than Copter because we don't have good ways to crew up Copter is the primary problem. Like, Gideon can't do it, Gideon can't do it, Wall of Omens can't do it if we stick with that. So we're pretty much, if we don't draw Lingering Souls or a Gideon Jura, we just can never crew Copter. Tide Hollow is a possibility. I did consider that. I don't know if that's better. I think Wall of Omens is better against aggro. I don't know if that's... I guess we could play a mixture as well. I don't know if we want to be better against aggro. I also considered Kitchen Finks main, but that makes a 3-drop slot really clunky, and our 2-drop slot would be really light. Lone Missionary would be a possibility. Could go Ghost Quarters. We went up to 3 Ghost Quarters. Could go Leonin Arbiter. Thalia is not good in our deck. We have too many spells, so I don't know. That's the flex slots that I'm still debating. Yeah, Bitter Blossom is an interesting possibility for the Wall of Omen slot. And we'd kind of be like a black-white tokens deck. If we went Bitter Blossom, then, I don't know, maybe it would be worth considering Copter. Bitter Blossom is pretty strong. I mean, it's still matchup dependent, but... Yeah, I'm not just worried about burn, though. Like, I want something that's good not only against burn, but is reasonable against, like, zoo. We can bring in maybe against affinity, decks like that. Slaughter Pact, I think, is a card that we could have in the deck, just because it's not that expensive anyway. It's a good gotcha card, and it works really well with Gideon. Zealous Persecution is a good possibility. Oh, well, thank you, Prideful Pelican, and Prideful Pelican's wife. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription as well. Big scoops here for our resubscriber. Copter Blossom, I assume you decided against Liliana the Veil. Yeah, I was going back and forth between Liliana the Veil and Liliana the Last Hope. I thought Liliana the Last Hope would be better against things that we cared more about, like a bunch of Lingering Souls tokens. Where one big creature we can deal with Gideon, chump with tokens, etc. We wouldn't cut Path or Push. I would just play an additional one of Slaughter Pact. Hey, welcome, Eep 5000. Aven Mind Sensor, yeah. Yeah, that's what I would do with Slaughter Pact. It would just be like adding in one over I don't know what. So, I don't know, we might just try it like this. I don't think I have Bitter Blossoms at the moment. And I don't know if I want to make you sit around. Yeah, I don't. I don't know if I want to make you sit through getting them. So I think we might just try this build with the idea that if we don't like the Wall of Omens, Bitter Blossom, and potentially Smuggler's Copter over Heart of Kirin could be the next place to go. I think Sun Titan's a little bit expensive. Why no mention of Sorin? Sorin's another possibility. It would probably be a one-of in the Liliana slot. I'm worried that the matchup that we might have the most trouble with would be aggro. That's what I'm afraid of, I guess, is someone that goes like Goblin Guide, Monastery Swiftspear. And Wall of Omens is somewhat helpful there. Time Bat and Ruckos 11 and Apes of Wrath 3 in a row. Welcome you all back to the Fishbowl. Big scoops here for our 3 new subscribers. I don't know. We could bring in it. We could have Condemn in the sideboard over the Finxes. Lunth TV, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. We do have a Collective Brutality in this pile. I don't know how much discard we actually want. Double Knot, Shoga, 420. Welcome you both to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Do I even have Slaughter Pact? Can I spell Slaughter Pact? I do Slaughter Packs. Oh my goodness, they just keep coming. The Uba Ninja, 5 months in a row. Keep up the good work. Well, keep up the subscriptions. Thank you so much for the support. Big scoops here for our resubscriber. The problem with Smuggler's Copter is we don't have enough ways to crew it at the moment. That's the big problem. We just have very minimal crewers, which makes me not want to play it. We might just run it like this. Predator Ooze. It's Javier. Predator Ooze, pronounced Javier. Well, thank you for your subscription. Predator Ooze, probably better known as Javier. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Big scoops here for our new subscriber, Lunoth TV. I thought I just said your name, but welcome back to the Fishbowl again. Thank you for your subscription. All right, let's try it. Let's just try it. Gonna try a league. See how it goes. You know about the flex slots. If you're gonna try this deck, play this deck, mess with this deck, that would be the slots I would be looking at changing potentially. I'm not a fan of Mithrilize. I've just never had luck with that in Modern. So yeah, let's give it a shot. We'll do competitive. Put the deck to the ultimate moto test. All right, on to round 1. Gideon Tribal, updated Gideon Tribal. Please play. Yeah, I do love Mana Tithe, but we're tapping out a lot in this deck, which might make it a little worse. Scholar is definitely in the conversation for the 2-drop slot, dude. I'm going with Wall of Omens right now to give it a shot. The other, yeah, that was another plan that I had, Shriek Bob, was to go Flagstones, Smallpox in the 2-drop slot, Urborg, and kind of be a black-white Smallpox deck with Gideon the finishers. Yeah, I guess that's... Jay Zoller, welcome back. Yeah, I guess that's very true. The Mox is the ultimate test, but as far as stuff you can just enter at any time. Dark Confidant was another card that crossed my mind. We have a lot of different possibilities in the 2-drop slot. So we'll see. We're gonna give it a shot like this. The most efficient way to purchase a deck is probably just to buy it with cash or whatever, your card, PayPal, from card hoarders, MTGO traders, one of the big bots. Usually end up coming out ahead that way if you just buy it all through their website and don't pay with Magic Online tickets. Yeah, I've just never had good luck with Myth Realize. So we get to play first. Alright, this Vault's a bit annoying. We do have Wall of Omens, though. Alright, we'll try this. I wish we had black on turn 1 for Inquisition, but I think this is fine-ish. Probably Time Bat. I could imagine that. Bloodstained Mire for our opponent. And passes. Well, let's just Vault and Wall of Omens. We could Inquisition. I think this is better, though. Next turn, we can Inquisition plus Heart of Kieran. Pass the turn. Yeah, the updated list is, if you go to the deck command, you'll see it. Do you think this is even more competitive than the other deck? I mean, in some ways, yes. Like, having... Oh, is this red-white control? Like, having Kytheon in the sideboard, that was like an against the odds flavor type thing. Like, that not having a dead sideboard slot does improve the deck. Like, how much better this is overall, that remains to be seen. Well, we're just going to crack this. I think we got to get a non-basic so we can start playing Gideons over a Swamp. It's a bit risky if our opponent has double Blood Moon, assuming they're even playing that deck. Inquisition our opponent. We really need a land. Resilient Ryan, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Good lord, that's a lot of bird. That's a close to lethal amount of bird. I guess we take Lightning Helix? None of that is good. Opponent has so many points of bird in hand. Oh, well, you're welcome, Resilient Ryan. I'm glad someone appreciates the puns. And the puns. Well, hopefully we draw a land here. That would be our best bet, to draw a land to be able to start pressuring our opponent. They have, what, 9 points of burn in their hand? Assuming that they can actually hit us with... Yep, down to 14. Assuming they can't actually hit us with Searing Blaze, which we should be able to avoid. Yeah, this is game 1, match 1. Yeah, we might end up doing that now that we know what our opponent's doing. Well, now we're... Oh, man. Land, please? Alright, we get a Swamp. If we block here, we lose our wall to Searing Blaze. I think we just got to take 2. The other thing is, we could Gideon Emblem into Big Gideon, and that would buy us a lot of time against this deck, if we can find Little Gideon. Alright, play the Swamp. I think we got to start beating down with Heart of Kieran. Liliana. This is our very first game of our first match, Filthy Casual. Just started. So take up on guide. We'll start crewing up Heart of Kieran. If our opponent's bolts are Liliana, we're actually pretty okay with that. That's bolt that's not going in our face. We know our opponent has 2 bolts in hand, which puts us at a virtual 6, so we really got to try to close out this game. The only good news is we do have Vault of the Archangel, so if we can gain life with Vault of the Archangel, that would really shift the math. It's slightly different. Bolt. Alright, kills Liliana. That's pretty fine. We don't especially care about that. Yes, I know. I should have pretty lands, and I don't. So, the difference is from the video, we mostly went down the Oath of Gideons and Anointed Processions for... for a Liliana and Walls of Omens. I think we gotta path it. If we block with Wall, they get Searing Blaze damage, and we can't let that happen. You can't fix the lands mid-match, awesome dude. Luckily, we have very few basics. Or mid-league, rather. Alright, we know our opponent's hand, and it is not very good. There's Lingering Souls. Well, Windswept Heath, crack Windswept Heath. It's Searing Blaze and Lightning Bolt. Get a Plains. I think what we want to do is just gain a bunch of life with a Gideon. So play Big Gideon. Plus Big Gideon. So now, I mean, our plan is just to start gaining life with this Vault of the Archangel and Gideon. And that should do it. Doesn't Blaze only deal damage if the creature dies? Am I misremembering Blaze? Maybe I'm completely an idiot. Oh yeah, you're correct. The creature, I was thinking of Searing Blood. You're right. Searing Blaze, the creature does not need to die, so they can get in damage with that whenever they want to. I'm pretty sure, though, once we start gaining life, we should be good. The nice thing about the Gideons is they work well with each other. Ooh, Shambling Vents is not bad either. Alright, we're going to block now. If our opponent wants to Searing Blaze, that's fine. We have a plan. Plan is gaining tons of life with Gideons. And Searing Blaze out of our opponent's hand means we get to start Heart of Kieran. Yeah, there's a link to the list. Arid Mesa for our opponent cracks it. Yeah, it's a slightly updated version of the Against Odds deck. There's a Searing Blaze. Not going at Gideon. Bolt. Well, unless they have a Skullcrack. Eidolon. Alright, that does not matter. This should just be game. Ooh, and Gideon of the Trials. Well, turn on Gideon. Crew up our Heart of Kieran. Heart of Kieran's actually really good in this deck. Gain a casual 10. And our opponent scoops it up. They see it coming. And wow. Alright. That was pretty good. And now we get sideboard cards. Including 3 Kitchen Finxes, 3 Ley Lines of Sanctity. Which seem really good against this build of Burn. We'll go down the Liliana. go down the Thoughtseizes and the Wraths. I think that's how we got to do it. I wonder if Hearth isn't just underrated in Modern in general. Yeah, Heart, yeah. Heart is, I don't know. With Planeswalkers, it's very good. Hey, awesome Flippity Flappity, or Flippy Flappy. I added a extra itty in there. Finky? Kitchen Finky? Is that the pluralization of Finky? Yeah, I mean, if you're actually trying to accrue Heart of Kieran, it's not good. But if you're playing like a Super Friend style list, and we have a lot of Planeswalkers, it's actually pretty good in our list. I swear to God, if this deck goes 5-0, I'll bring a foiled out version, buy a foiled out version, and bring it to my FNM. Wrath over Damnation. I mean, they're the same card. Wrath, we have more white cards and more white mana. So we're more likely, I mean, chances are everything will work, but we're more likely to not have the black mana than the white mana, so that makes it better. Going well, Firetron. How are you? Yeah, we only got one Collective Brutality in this deck, but it is a good one. I mean, we're gonna run it like this. I think this is pretty fine. Why only 3 ley lines? Just making room for other cards, essentially. I mean, I don't think we can ship this hand. We don't have any of our specific burn hate, but we kill a creature turn 1, Wall of Omens into Lingering Souls, and then have Shambling Vent, so it seems okay. We have a Path on top. Well, Concealed Courtyard, pass the turn. I'm not trying to drive up the cost to Gideon, I promise. My friend is testing Heart as a one-of an Abzan Shadow with 2 Gideons, 3 Lily. Yeah, that's not bad. Is the data from deck testing in Standard League useful right now? There are only 100 or so players. I mean, it's somewhat useful. You can get an idea of what cards are in people's decks. Ooh, there's Little Gideon. That's sweet as well. Well, let's Fatal Push the Goblin Guide. See what our opponent has. There's the Eidolon. That is annoying. Alright, so we're just going to Shambling Vent, pass the turn, path the Eidolon, and then go from there. Very excited about Gideon Emblem in this match. Seems like it could be pretty strong. I actually had to buy the Gideons to play the deck, so I do have 4 that I own. Usually I just borrow the cards, but they were so new I couldn't actually borrow them from where I normally borrow them. So down to 16, Path the Eidolon. Opponent only has 4 cards in hand, though. Man, Gideon Jura would be sweet here. Lava Spike down to 13. Cracks the Mire. Stomping Grounds. More Eidolons. Ay. This feels bad, but play a Plains. Play Gideon. Take 2. Down to 11. Gideon is actually pretty funny counter to Eidolon because it prevents all the damage. So that includes Eidolon triggers. How many Harsh Mentors do you think should be run in free win red? Oh, man. Probably a sideboard card. I don't really have numbers on it yet. I think your idea is cool, awesome dude. I'm not sure when I would get to it, but the idea of comparing new combo to the old combo and talking about what makes one better and one worse is a sweet idea. Well, plus Gideon. Play a Plains, and I think we just Leyline. Now our opponent needs a way to kill the ley line. Man, we're actually kind of close to sealing this up if they can't kill the ley line. They might have ley line destruction, though. Destructive Revelry. Alright, there's Destructive Revelry. Yup. Goes to our face. I mean, I guess they could just bolt us out here if they have the right draw. There's a bolt. Well, down to 6. Oh, double bolt. Oh, man. Well, opponent, good hand. Hopefully they whiff here. Opponent passes. We have a new subscriber, Chris Flater. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. I mean, we got to go for it. So, Emblem Gideon. So now they got to kill Gideon before they can kill us. Oh boy. And then back that up with a Kitchen Finks. Down to 1. Do they go after the Gideon is the question. They do. Gideon's down to 3. Man, drawing a big Gideon would be super great. Shambling Vent past the turn. All Regent, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. 7 months in a row. Big scoops here for our resubscriber. I, too, pretty happy they banned the Felidar Guardian. Well, let's see if they can kill Gideon this turn. That's a lot of mana. Rift Bolt. Alright, there goes Gideon. Thankfully, we're at 5. And we could draw another Gideon. Well, I think we just have to start venting. So get in with Shambling Vent. Gonna leave back Kitchen Finks. Back up to 7. Play Shambling Vent. Pass the turn. Man, one more Gideon would be super sweet. And our opponent scoops it up. Woo, sweet. Well, Gideons. Can't beat the Gideons. That Gideon emblem probably won us the game there. It definitely bought us a turn or two. So, yeah, the streak continues with Gideons. Well, what's up, Marty? How goes it tonight? So, we'll update that. 1-0 with Gideon Tribal in Modern. Darth Stevens, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Is Shambling Vent's a bit slow? Yeah, I mean, it's a bit slow. We're trying to break the format. We'll see. I mean, this deck has been solid so far. Hey, see ya, Thimgon. Have a good night. Next up, Jay's Tribal. I don't know, maybe. This deck is actually really fun, Duncan the Tail. I've been really enjoying playing it. Love Mono White Pinner Monicon budget deck. Decided to make it more casual. Was wondering if you didn't include at least one Inquisitor Exarch. Really helps close out the game post combo. Yeah, it seems like a good inclusion. You could probably run one of them over a Lone Missionary. Dracobell, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Why did everyone scoop so quick in what video? Oh, they couldn't beat the Gideons. That's why. What's up, Zach Wind? Alright, on to round 2 with Gideons. Oh boy. Well, if this is a creature matchup, we're going to try this. If this is combo, we're kind of in really bad shape. Although our opponent's going to 5. Like, Tron or combo, this would be rough. If it's a creature matchup... Okay, Overgrown Tomb. This is probably fine. So it's probably Abzan, Death Shadow, something along those lines. So this hand is fine against those decks. Just kill all their threats, especially on the Moldify, and that gives us a lot of time to find a Gideon and win the game. When are we going to talk about... Whoa! Never mind. Well, hopefully we find our Ghost Quarters. Apparently this is Green-Black Tron. Oh, God. Dream Dying. Path off the top. Huh. New Gideon's pretty sweet. Ancient Stirrings. Got the feeling our opponent's going to do the whole Moldify, have Tron. It's a Chromatic Star. Oh boy. This took a very bad turn for us. Cracks the star. Adds green. And passes. Well, we get to crack this. We need to draw Ghost Quarter primarily. Well, we have a Gideon for next turn, which is a fast clock. The problem is if our opponent Trons us, we have a very dead hand. This is our opponent literally mulled to 5. We essentially mulled to 5. And our opponent has Tron. Oh boy. We talked about the ban list earlier, Filthy Casual, but definitely an awesome thing for people who enjoy playing Standard. Yeah, this is not going to go in our favor. Our opponent managed to Tron it up, so if they have a anything, we're pretty much dead. I mean, creature, we're not dead, but if they have a Planeswalker, we're dead. For NCG024, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. What is our opponent playing? 3 color Tron? Sylvan's Crying. Okay. So it feels like they're setting up for a Ulamog? And they do have the Karn, of course. Yep. Oh my goodness. Well, get in at Karn. The problem is, with this hand, we're not going to be able to beat through Karn. And our opponent's still playing things. So, play Heart of Kieran, play Shambling Vet. Yeah, I think more people would have been upset if they banned Saheeli. I don't think Wizards can ban a Planeswalker over an uncommon. It's so much more expensive and important to the story and all that stuff. Yes, it looks like we're going to get Troned out of this one. On the Moldify, just shows you how miserable and unfair Tron really is. Opponent mulls to 5 and has turn 4 Tron, turn 5 Karn, turn 6 Ulamog. That's a mull to 5. Good, healthy magic. Killing our creatures. Yeah, I'm not confident there's a way we can win from here. Kill Ulamog. Yeah, that's the other problem, is Felidare does go infinite with New Liliana. Oh boy, more Shambling Vents. Well, this is all we can really do. This is... I can't imagine that this is going to win us the game with our opponent having a Karn out, but we'll try it. Hit the Karn, play a Shambling Vent, pass the turn. Opponent's on 0 basic lands. Seems ambitious for a Tron deck. 0 basic lands, 3 color Mull to Oblivion Tron for the win. Oh boy. Trading Post Tron was sweet. No, play Wall of Omens. That doesn't even help. Pass the turn. Yeah, I wish we could stop getting paired against Tron. Or that our Tron opponents would not run as well as they do. Bubble Matrix, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Opponent gets in with Wormcoil. We draw a Plains. Hooray. I mean, we'll keep fighting, but this is a extremely losing battle. Like, we spend our entire turn attacking Karn for an amount of damage that equals 1 Karn activation. And our opponent, I'm sure, still has big things to draw into in their deck. I've never said that they should ban Tron, but Tron is not a fair deck by any stretch of the imagination. What's our opponent got? Takes down card. Collective Brutality does nothing. Pass the turn. No, we're not going to scoop. We're not going to win, but we're not going to scoop. Chromatic Sphere for our opponent. I mean, they already hit Tron by getting rid of Ayavugan, so they've already hit it. This is powered down Tron. Opponent passes. I mean, I don't even think this is necessarily good for us to kill the Wormcoil. Pass the turn. We are playing Gideon Tribal. Alright, now I'm going to scoop. Oh boy, that was unfortunate. Well, good on you, opponent. We get Fulminator Mages and Stony Silences. Go down our Fatal Pushes, Heart of Kirin's, and Collective Brutalities, something like that. I think this is basically, you know, Liliana's pretty bad. Maybe we leave 2 Heart of Kirin's. I think something like this. I recently looked at Glorybringer and noticed it went from 3 to 12. Any reason why it spiked so fast? Well, the initial reason was people realized it was really good in the copycat decks. But it's also just a good card. So I think that's part of the reason as well. Well, we saw multiple Wormcoils, so I think Path is actually good. Wrath isn't good. Our opponent's playing a weird build of Tron. Alright, you sold me. Rebuying a Fulminator makes sense, and I guess even getting back a wall isn't the worst. I think we'll try it like this. Liliana and Gideon play together fine. I don't know if we can keep this. I think we got a mulligan. I mean, this hand has cards, but they don't have cards that are good against Tron. Well, let's hope we scry into a land for Stony Silence. We do not. Oh boy. Well, we could draw a land. That's a possible thing that could happen. Opponent has Natural Tron in hand. We'll take Expedition Map, pass the turn. So all of our stuff doesn't matter now. We are not going to win this match. Chrono Tommy and Shinjo85, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. We still do need a land. All right, we get the land. This is slightly helpful in that it keeps our opponent off of green mana for the time being. And they don't have a finisher in hand. So there's some world where we either draw land and beat our opponent down, or we are able to draw Fulminator Mages to get our opponent off Tron and get into this game. Those are the things we need here. Well, 2 modes at our opponent. We got to discard a Lingering Souls because we can't cast it anyway. What did our opponent draw? Never mind. Opponent top deck Ugin. So any land gets us to dead, and we don't even have Fulminator mana. I don't think you should have went to 5 there, Mind Trick. I'm pretty sure that our Stony Silence Thoughtseize hand is better than the average 5-card hand. That was a draw. Oh my god. Okay, back in the game. This does not give our opponent green mana because they're playing no basics. Wow, our opponent... Wow. Opponent's deck building technique is coming back to bite them. Alright. I mean, we need another land. That was a draw. That was a draw. We're back sort of in the game. Oh, green mana. Okay. This gives our opponent a chance to find the Tron piece and play Ugin. Power plant. All right. All right. Well, come on, lands. Chromatic Star. Yeah, you can't crack it. Heart of Cure, not good here. We have a Stony Silence down. Get in. Yeah. Oh, man. We need to get a Gideon down to have a fast enough clock. We're giving our opponent way too much time to find this Tron piece. Ancient Stirrings. Another shot. There's the tower. All right. Well, we had Ghost Quarter and Heart of Kirin and Thoughtseize, and our opponent's still going to Ugin us, so can't really hope for much more than that. I guess we could draw a Ghost Quarter here. Yeah, that's game. Man, that's frustrating. Let's go Terps! 4 months in a row. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yeah, I think we just scoop. There's no playing it out. They play an Ugin and wrath our board, and then we lose? Like, we literally can't beat an Ugin. There's no combination of things that beat Ugin. Well, I'll pass the turn so you can see what happens for science, but we can't beat a Ugin here. They play Ugin, they sweep away all of our stuff, turns on all their chromatic stars. We play Gideon, hit Ugin down to what? 3 or something, then they kill our Gideon and have an Ugin at 6, something along those lines. I didn't do the math exactly, but it's close to what I just said. And then they just Ugin us until we die. See, they exile everything. We hit Ugin to 1. They kill our Gideon. We can't crew Heart of Kirin. There's no anything from here. Well, we stop Ugin from dealing damage, I guess. I don't think there's any beating it. I guess that's true. We can plus on it. I don't think that's something that wins us the game, though. Heart of Kirin needs crewing of 3, so 1/2 of Lingering Souls can't do it. Well, Vault of the Archangel. There's no outs that we're playing to, but there aren't outs, but we will play to them. I mean, I guess the closest thing we have that sort of looks like an out is our opponent having nothing in hand and us drawing land destruction to get them off Tron. But we'll see. Expedition map. Cracks it. There's a worm coil. So I guess we could draw a Fulminator or a Ghost Quarter would be 2 cards that are sort of relevant. There's a Ghost Quarter. There's still a worm coil. Well, alright, alright. Tracy King, get out of here. Well, let's crew up our Heart of Kirin. Attack the Ugin. Does our opponent have removal? Did we actually kill an Ugin with Heart of Kirin? Okay. New subscriber, Nastier Nate. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. We still need another land destruction spell, I believe. So, alright. Kill the tower. TR33 Beard 31. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. I think our opponent searched up another Tron with the Expedition map, though. Yeah, or Tower, rather. So they have Tron. We did put up a fight, though, so I'm glad we didn't scoop. I'm still not convinced that we're going to win, because our opponent still has Tron. Which means they still likely have horrible things, like Karn, that end the game. That's the thing that people don't understand about Tron. Cartage 20. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. You aren't really winning the game. Like, when they have Tron, no matter what you're doing, you're not winning. Another Heart of Kirin. So we can flashback Lingering Souls. So we're going to beat through multiple Planeswalkers, but we're still not anywhere near resembling winning. I guess if we find another Ghost Quarter or Fulminator, then maybe? Then we've killed 3 towers? I mean, we're putting up a fight. What's our opponent have? We're trying hard. Chromatic Star. Thoughts on the new Nissa? Do you think it's worth it to get a playset? I think it's a really unique and powerful card. I'm just not sure where it fits or will be played. That's my main concern. And another Ugin. There goes our board. Worm Coil hits us for 6. Pro Tour is what, 3 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks? And that is literally the game. 6 from Worm Coil, 3 from Ugin. Yeah, I mean, we gave it a fight. That's unfortunate. Before that match, you've been 2-0 against Tron. But when your opponent has natural Tron in hand, that's pretty hard to beat. Then all of your Stony Silences and disruptive stuff just doesn't do anything if they just happen to have that. Yeah, no scooping early this one. What's up, Brongs? When are there going to be MTG Goldfish jerseys? That's a good question. I will have to ask Richard about that. I mean, we mulliganed to 6. I don't think we can mulligan further than... We had a hand that had Thoughtseize and a Stony Silence. That's Tron hate. So we had, for being at 6 cards, we had a reasonable hand. We had turn 2 Stony Silence. Our opponent just had natural Tron. And no amount of Thoughtseizes or Stony Silences or other Tron hate. We even had 2 Ghost Quarters as the game went along. So can't really... I don't think that was a bad keep. I don't know what 5 cards would we get that would be better than that, and I can't really picture it. Anyway, be back with round 3. Quick 30-second ad. Alright, we're back on to round 3 with Gideon Tribal in Modern. And, alright, that sounds pretty good. Inquisition for turn 1, removal spell, wall to hopefully get us a land, and then Gideon time. Hey, what's up, Z-Fran? Yeah, it seems like a good day to do Modern since everyone's drafting because of the Wizards thing, Streamer Showdown thing. So it seems like a good day to not do it. We can still play Amonkhet Draft at some point in the future. Wooded Foothills for our opponent. Well, Marsh Flats, crack it. Smallpox is an interesting idea. That's something on the possibility list that we could try. What is the snake combo in Standard? There's a snake combo in Standard? I think we just take Maelstrom Pulse here. Maelstrom Pulse can kill our big Gideon. And our opponent could just Abrupt Decay Wall of Omens, potentially. Anguish and Making is a good sideboard option. Yeah, we'll do Amonkhet drafts at some point, but not tonight. I mean, Abrupt Decay can kill Little Gideon, but eh. Yeah, I don't know what snake combo people are saying. Play snake, play... Well, yeah, I mean, it puts counters on thing. I guess if we're considering that a combo. Alright, opponent peels a Thoughtseize. So their hand is... blank, blank, and... Tarmogoyf, Abrupt Decay, and land, I think? Well, that's Wall of Omens. We'll get more Gideons eventually. There's a big Gideon. That's a pretty good one in this matchup. So now we can Gideon just Emblem. There's the Goyf. We actually might just Wall and Path. Oh, and Liliana. Good God. Planeswalker options. Yeah, let's just play another Wall. Draw a card. Lingering Souls is very good against Jund. Pass the turn. Yeah, the Foil Marsh Flats I opened in a Modern Masters draft. So it always sneaks into the decks. Tarmogoyf technically can't attack through our walls at the moment. And we can always path it if we want to. Although it might be better to path one of our walls with this hand. Quick question, does D&T seem to be well positioned in the new Modern meta? I'm not sure what the new Modern meta is yet, I guess. Huh. What are we doing here? We know our opponent has Abrupt Decay. Well, let's play Shambling Vent. Play Crack Our Marsh Flats. Get a Plains. And I think, well, yeah, let's just Gideon, Emblem Gideon. Get the Emblem down for when we get Jura down. And pass the turn, because our opponent's going to kill it anyway, so we might as well get the Gideon. If our opponent Abrupt Decays it, then, oh, they drew a Bolt. What's our opponent's other card? Well, they managed to kill Gideon without using Abrupt Decay. Good news for us is we're a land away from Gideon Jura. Opponent plays, cracks. Overgrown Tomb, untapped, 4-drop. Kalitas. Alright, let's take 4 for now. Play a Liliana. Tick up on the Goyf. Pass the turn. We're pretty close to running our opponent out of cards. And sticking a Gideon Jura, which should be game over. Do you think we'll ever see the return of traditional Jund? I expect so. Jund never goes away forever. Magnus Leo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yeah, we have to deal with Cletus before we Wrath. We would like to get Jura down before our opponent draws a Thoughtseize. That would be annoying. Gaming Royalty 1, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Do we got a path here? I don't think yet. We could just draw the land. Alright, Abrupt Decays are Liliana. Land? Another Gideon. Karn Ultimate can't get rid of emblems. You can't do anything to get rid of the emblems. Well, let's just Lingering Souls, and then I think we're going to Path Kalitas the end of our opponent's turn. Or if they draw a discard spell or something, and then we can start Gideon. Yeah, I guess that's true. If you restart the game with Karn, you do get rid of an emblem. That's true. I thought you were meaning you could take down and exile it. Misunderstood what was being talked about. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will block and block. Tap land for our opponent. All right, let's get rid of Kalitas. Oh. Liliana the Veil, sure. Ticks up. Well, we're still going to kill Kalitas. We'll discard Wrath. Draw an Urborg. All right, play Urborg. Sorry, Gideon, ally of Zendikar. We gotta go with Jura this time. Gideon Jura. Kill Goyf. Get in at Liliana. And I think this is pretty much where we want to be. Got another Lingering Souls in the graveyard. Yes, our opponent makes us discard Ally of Zendikar, but that should be fine. Our opponent shouldn't be able to kill it. There goes Ally of Zendikar. We draw a Wrath. Well, I don't even know if we flash back Lingering Souls. Let's just fire up Shambling Vents. Fire up our Gideon. Gideon at Liliana. Get rid of that funness. Hit our opponent with the rest. And Gideon's! I'm pretty sure this is how we were planning on doing it. We got the emblem out, so our opponent has to kill Gideon before they can ever do anything. And we're going to be conservative. I don't know what kills Gideon Jura in all honesty, but we're still going to be conservative. And just Lingering Souls, flashback Lingering Souls. Is there anything, chat, that could kill Gideon if we attack there? It's a good question. Dismember doesn't do it, and that's one of the most common ones. Path isn't in Jund. We are Gideoning it done. Gideoning in there. Opponent passes. Yeah, alright. Might as well. Inquisition. Holding a land. Well, turn on Gideon. It's indestructible, right? Oh, it is not indestructible. Not this one. Favor fail on Wizard's part. Is this lethal? Not quite. Opponent cracks the Catacombs. So our opponent has one turn to draw a card that I don't think exists. They have to Wrath our board and kill Gideon with one card. Jura gonna get it done. And let's shamble. We don't really need to turn on Gideon here. And that does it. Whew. Yeah, I guess Olive Dust could do it. Would I recommend Blue-Red Prowess in Standard? I think it's worth trying at least. Tricky Ryan 88, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. And Invororic, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yes, the new ones are indestructible. Gideon Jura is not. So, sideboarding against Jund, I'm actually not 100% sure how we want to play against Jund. Would I recommend Felidar Guardian Standard? Seems like it could make a really good deck. I bet it could be tier 1 even. Exernator, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. We have so many sideboard options. I don't know what we changed, though. What do we cut to make room for this stuff? I mean, yeah, Finks is good. Probably want to play Finks. Do we go down discard? NASA, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. We're 1-1 right now and up a game in match 3 here against Jund. Reflector Mage seems reasonable too. Maybe Emrakul, Skull Clamp, Memory Jar. Put them all together, you probably have a good deck. Maybe something like this? Copycat actually does get played in Modern to some extent. It's not super popular, but it does get played. Just in case our opponent sides in Tron. Maybe like this. Alright, this is fine. Oh, I left Brutality in, didn't I? Oh well. Next time. It kills a Bob. Ooh, we get to start with a Leyline. Well, his hand doesn't do much, but Leyline is good. So we'll keep it based on the strength of that against our opponent's deck. A Raging Ravine. Well, there's Heart of Kirin. We need a Planeswalker to really make it do anything, but let's Inquisition. Oh, goodness. Bob, Thundermaw. Whoa! Okay. Do we just take Kolaghan's command because it kills Heart of Kirin? And hope our opponent dies to Bob's? This hand. Yeah, I guess it's just Kolaghan's command. That's the turn. Good God. So we're hoping our opponent dies to their own Dark Confidants, primarily. That's our best bet. Well, alright. Since we drew Fatal Push, we might as well kill the first one. Pass the turn. I guess we could just draw into removal. Yeah, Thundermaw seems like a good way to kill our Planeswalkers. It also wrecks our Lingering Souls. Alright, there's Bob Part 2. And Blackleaf. So we're going to want to be aware of that Thundermaw. And Lavamancer. Second Leyline. Well, Wall of Omens. Be nice to us, Wall. Oh, boy. Well, we're not going to be targeted. Someone earlier asked why you don't play 4 Leylines, and this 3 Leyline hand is a good example. That's not how we drew it up, with our opponent having a board full of creatures. Yep. We block. Opponent can kill it. Oh no, they drew a 4-drop. Oh boy. It almost feels like our opponent took out all their discards, so these Leylines seem pretty bad. I mean, 3 of them are definitely bad, but... yeah, I think this... we should not have brought in Leylines. Ooh, Counterbalance. That's a good open. Too bad it's essentially banned. Opponent gets a land off the Dark Confidant. Fires up a Raging Ravine. Yep. Down to a low life total. Man, we are pretty dead here. Concealed Courtyard, Heart of Kieran, pass the turn. Yeah, Legacy Leylines is sweet. It doesn't win much, but... Dark Confidant, more lands. Is it Thundermaw time? Yeah, Miscalculation would have been sweet in Standard. There's Raging Ravine. Well, we got a Ghost Quarter that. So, kill Raging Ravine. Yeah, I'm very glad Cat is gone, Drake and Vulture. I think Standard's going to be super fun now. Down to 9. Bonabasses. And... we might be in the old chump Heart of Kieran part of the game. Chump with Heart of Kieran. So there's a Gideon. Make a 2/2. The problem is our opponent has Thundermaw coming down, which is a ton of damage. Where the 3 ley lines just is not going to get it done. Hey, what's up, Mai? How goes it tonight? I don't think Mardu is going to be that good. Honestly. I think Mardu's probably okay. Probably be tier 1. But I don't think that Mardu's just going to be far and away a dominant deck by any means. What was your standard deck, Tracy King? Opponent is landing it up with this Dark Confidant. They've gotten like 6 cards, 1, 2, 5 cards, 1 non-land. Yeah, there's Thundermaw. What else do we have? Our 1 Wrath of God? Well, I think Mardu was primarily good because... well, there's a couple reasons. One of the big reasons is... Mardu was good in large part because of Felidar Guardian. And the fact that Felidar Guardian kept decks that would be good against Mardu out of the format. So that's one of the big reasons. So I guess a Wrath might keep us in the game for a turn. And it's a path. Well, triple ley line, not good. We are not playing ley lines this game. That was a very bad idea. And we will bring our Thought Seizes back in, I think. So Mardu was partly good because of Copycat. Also, tons of good answers to Mardu in Amonkhet. There's just a ton of good things for that matchup. There's so much artifact hate. There's main deck artifact hate. So there's just a ton of good possibilities. Oh, this hand. Budget of around $100. Zombies sounds like a lot of fun. Felidar Guardian officially got banned last night. People were asking why I was thinking about that hand. We have our answer, so now we auto-lose. At least our first hand, we played Magic. There's a lot of risk of mulliganing to 5. Mulliganing to 4. And there we go. Good game, well played, opponent. So that's why you keep... that's why I keep passable 7s, because it's better than auto-losing to Moto. And now, on a mull to 4, I think your odds are somewhere like 8% by the data. Just in the dark, so pretty much drawing dead right from the start. Opponent's hand loaded with action. Well, we will take, I guess, Maelstrom Pulse if we somehow land into Planeswalkers. One Windswept Heath is just a 5th fetch land. Triggers Revolt on Fatal Push, gets our Godless Shrines. So we have 4 Marsh Flats, and we just have 1 additional fetch. Well, I mean, drawing lands is good. With the Maelstrom Pulse gone, it's not impossible that we, like, land into Gideon Ally of Zendikar and actually somewhat make a game of it if our opponent doesn't have... Oh, my God. Alright, well... Opponent draws another Bob. We'll path the Bob. Wall's been reasonable. We've had some pretty bad run-in to some extent. Really? Kolaghan's Command gets back Dark Confidant. Well, we'll play play Kitchen Finks. Yeah, this is actually triple Bob, thanks to Kolaghan's Command. Another Kolaghan's Command for our opponent. I mean, mulliganing is part of playing Magic, so you can't really complain about it. Its variance is part of what makes the game good. Opponent's going to make us discard here and kill our Kitchen Finks, yep. Drew another Kolaghan's Command. Path on the draw step would have meant that our opponent had Dark Confidant triggers. I don't think you just give your opponent free Dark Confidant triggers. Doesn't sound like a wise plan. Scavenging Ooze for our opponent. Lightning Bolts, our Kitchen Finks. Gets in with Dark Confidant. Well, you see the problem with mulliganing to 4. Well, I wish I had kept our initial 7 just to see. I think it would have went much better. Especially knowing our opponent sideboarded out all of their discard. I don't think that hand was as bad as everyone thought it was. Was it good with 5 lands, Path, and Kitchen Finks? No. It wasn't a good hand, but it's a hand that could eventually cast Planeswalkers and kill our opponent's first threat. Anything for Sultai Delirium from Amonkhet? I haven't really thought about Sultai Delirium, so I guess no at the moment. What's my favorite non-free win red deck? Kills our wall, pumps up the ooze. Yep, it's over. Yeah, I was very borderline. I definitely would consider it just because I've had so many experiences of this happening that it makes me tend to keep those hands. We know our opponent has Bolt in hand, so this doesn't actually do anything. Well, running good on a Moldifor is like saying you got the good kind of cancer or something. There's no... I mean, I guess technically that's true, but... Opponent flips another Dark Confidant. And there goes our Gideon. Another Bob. Oh, it's just such a sad way to lose. Yeah, it happens. I mean, and that's the thing. You can't let the outcome influence your decision making. I mean, if it was the correct mulligan at the time, and it might have been, it was probably close. If it was correct at the time, even though it went horribly, it was still the right thing to do. Card shot 4 months in a row. Need to make the deck see how many cards with a Gideon name you can fit. Yeah, that deck, I looked at it when I knew I was going to build Gideon Tribal. I considered doing that deck, and that deck would have just been really bad. I wanted to try to build a deck that it was at least somewhat competitive, and the all Gideon deck would have been not very close to competitive. What's up, Grooslog? Oh, you know, playing some Gideons, mulligan into some 4s. Yeah, I mean, I guess our opponent could flip an Emrakul. That would be a way we could win. Verbontin Water, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Yep, well, not very good running so far. Thoughts on Felidar Guardian banning? It's going to be awesome, and it's going to make Standard way more fun to play. Frozenstein, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our big subscriber. Alright, this hand actually looks pretty good. Wall of Omens, bunch of removal, Inquisition. This is pretty much exactly what we're looking for against any non-Tron deck. Ugh. Well, hopefully this is normal Eldrazi and not Eldrazi Tron. Estermage, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big Scoops cheer for our new subscriber. What's our opponent got going on over there? Oh man, I haven't really worked on Mono Blue Colossus for Modern recently. Reality Smasher, Thought Not Seer. Okay. Well, Dismember is good against us, but we're just going to take Matter Reshaper. Opponent only has 2 lands, and we do have Ghost Quarters. So far, we lost to opponent drawing Natural Tron in their opening hand, and mulliganing to 4. But technically Tron and Jund. Although the Jund matchup was pretty much a loss to variance. Lots of mulliganing involved in that one. Opponent gets an Expedition map. That's a good one. Well, Ghost Quarter, and let's just get our wall down. I don't think there's any sense in just leaving up mana in case they draw a land into Thought Knot. So, draw a card. Marsh Flats is good. That means we have 2 Thought Knot answers. Thanks to Fatal Push. Opponent cracks the map. Wouldn't mind getting Gideon down before Thought Knot, but it looks like that's not going to happen. Another Eldrazi Temple. Well, let's Marsh Flats. I think we're going to get down Liliana here. Should have done an emergency podcast to talk about the Felidar Guardian banning. Yeah, we have a video coming out tonight talking about Amonkhet in Standard, and it definitely gets talked about a bit on there. And we'll talk about it at the next podcast as well. But it is definitely really big news. Magic Online is essentially 90% Tron somehow. It's not really 90%, but there's way more Tron on Magic Online than there is in the real world. Opponent dismembers our Wall of Omens. Yeah, New Gideon should be pretty sweet in Standard. I'd play Blood Moon in just about any deck. I'm down. There's Reality Smasher. Yep. Kills our Liliana. Yep. Also means we can't Gideon this turn, or else it just dies. No, I don't think you're a bad person for playing Tron. I don't like Tron, personally, but it doesn't make you a bad person. How do we want to do this? Alright, play Ghost Quarter, pass the turn, see what our opponent does. Is the channel doing something special when it hits 100,000 subscribers? Probably, but I don't know what, but we should. There's Thought Knot. Well, let's Path Thought Knot. Is a little risky. Isolated Chapel, not ideal. There's the Thought Knot trigger. Takes Gideon Jura. And another Tron piece for our opponent. Gets in. 4 or 5. We'll keep drawing some lands. Well, play the Gideon. Yeah, I mean, maybe we should have went that direction. Ghost Quartering there is pretty painful to go down lands, but I guess if I had known we were going to draw multiple lands in a row, that probably would have been the better thing to do. Yeah, we've played a lot of Tron. Tron all day, every day, apparently. Video on demands usually go up the next day, although they're available on Twitch right away. Really? Opponent draws all his dust. Gets in with Smasher. We draw nothing, another land, and that does it. Whew. Well, we can bring in Fulminators. I don't think Stony Silence is worth it here. Collective Brutality, super bad. Fatal Push is kind of okay-ish. What else are we going down? Liliana. What's the difference between this league and how Against Odds was going? Well, mostly we just mulligan into Oblivion and run really bad. That's the main, the main difference. Oh, you mean as far as the deck? The changes are minimal. We have Wall of Omens, basically over some of the worst stuff in the Against Odds deck with Anointed Procession and Oath of Gideons. Really? You think Stony Silence in this matchup? They don't play the eggs and stuff, though. There's just very few things that... What is Stony Silence really going to shut down, is my question. Forgot to link the deck. Yeah, I usually don't bring it in against Eldrazi Tron. Oh, the white-black Eldrazi deck looks sweet. I don't know about Chalice of the Void and Mana Tithe, because they're kind of competing in that one-drop spot, but it looks like a sweet deck. Serum Powder to exile your Eternal Scourges. Sweet. I like some of the ideas. It looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, so... in fact, isn't really a deck anymore. I mean, it's like a super fringe deck, but it's not really a played deck in Modern anymore. It's very, very fringe playable in Modern. I really don't think Stony Silence is good. I'm not going to bring in Stony Silence. I just don't think it's good. In fact, really got hit hard by Inquisition being banned. Alright, this hand is pretty good if we just draw land number 3. Thoughtseize, Inquisition, Gideon, Fulminator backup. This is pretty much what we're hoping for. I mean, it just, as far as like putting up tournament results, it's really dropped down. So we get to lead on Thoughtseize. All is Dust, Expedition Map. Well, we'll just take Expedition Map here. Pass the turn. So our opponent has all lands and All is Dust. So as long as we draw land 3 in a timely manner. Alright, well, that's a little clunky. We would have liked a Heart of Kirin here and start the beatdowns, but that works. We'll take it. I actually think we might just Fulminator Mage first. Yeah, let's just Fulminator Mage. Actually, no. I don't think we Fulminator Mage. Let's, the clunkiness. Yeah, that's true. It does help their dismembers. We can Fulminator Mage. If shaving my beard would solve world hunger, would I? Yeah, probably. I mean, I like my beard, and I don't want to shave it, but there are things I would shave it for. Alright, we'll just Fulminator, blow up a tower. Temple for our opponent. And passes. Well, let's just play Big Gideon. And start making 2/2s. Pass the turn. So now hopefully we can just Gideon there and close out this game real quick. Yeah, I mean, we're beating down. If they drew a Dismember, they drew a Dismember. Let's Heart of Kirin, play Concealed Courtyard, pass the turn. We are a little concerned about them just drawing another tower and all is dust. Alright, it's a Ghost Quarter. So this is where Heart of Kirin's super good. So crew up Heart of Kirin. Fire up our Gideon. And I think we just make them Ghost Quarter us here. Because we're presenting lethal, so this forces them to go down another land for Ghost Quarter. I think that's worth it. There's a Ghost Quarter. Yep. So we'll get a Plains. Would I rather shave my beard or my head? Probably my head, but neither if I had a choice. Swaglick, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops here for our new subscriber. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of shaving anything, but... When will I be building Panharmonicon Seance for Against the Odds? Ooh, that does sound like a fun one, and our opponent scoops it up, so, well, that's what we're trying to do. That's the kind of hand that we want, and our opponent kept a kind of land-heavy hand, so, well, awesome, Swaglick. Thank you for this up. Definitely appreciate it. Gideon in there. Yeah, that went pretty well. I think we just keep it like this. Yeah, our opponent's hand was definitely pretty questionable. I think our opponent's thinking was they could just expedition map for Tron, and then all his dust would kill all of our stuff. But that plan is really weak to a discard spell. Minotaur Tribal Against Odds. Well, go to the Against Odds article and vote, because that was one of the options. Although, I don't think that option is winning. Well, we got the Gideon.hand. Will Wizards ever go back to Dominaria? I think it's probable that we'll go back to Dominaria. Oh, actually, we're 1-2 right now. And 1-1 in this match. There's an Urza's Mine. So let's lead on Marsh Flats, crack it. Get a Godless Shrine, untapped, and Thoughtseize. Down to 15 already. Needle, Dismember. Well, I think we gotta take Needle. We don't have a way to get it off the battlefield very easily. Yeah, we'll take Needle. Dismember kills one Gideon. Needle deals with all copies of a Gideon. I've got a legacy budget list for 77 ticks online with a turn 2 kill. Might want to see it. Yeah, well, send me your list. I'd love to look it over. Plains Goo. Another Tron piece for our opponent. Fatal Push, not super exciting. Yeah, let's just start with Kitchen Finks. Gideon's gonna die to that Dismember. Finks does not, easily. If you go to the MTG Goldfish website, I can get you a link to the Against the Odds article. You'll find a poll in there. Opponent has Cavern. And Thought Knot. Alright, that's a good draw. Thought Knot gets to take Lingering Souls, I would guess. Alright, here is the Against the Odds link. I think Elves is about where it has been. I mean, it's a solid tier 2 deck. I'm not sure it's anything more than that yet. Yeah, opponent is stunned by the number of Gideons. Trying to decide what to take. They don't have much in their hand, which is good news for us. Takes Fatal Push. Okay. Well, let's just Gideon. Start preventing Thought Knot damage. Would love to get down this Fulminator sometime soon. Yeah, we saw our opponent's hand. They have a Dismember, and I assume 2 lands, but we don't know for sure. It's always scary to see the Tron pieces. You never know when your opponent will just Tron, Ugin, you lose. Wastes. Okay. Come on, black mana. Well, slow black mana. Target, Thought Knot. Lingering Souls. Start getting in some damage. Play the Shambling Vent. Oh, alright, Dank Grog. I will try to check that after the stream. Would I rather be able to never play Blood Moon again or never draw cards again? Oh, God. Don't make me choose. That's like beard or hair. Neither one of those is something that I could live with. I think I like the old art on Cavern. The new art's fine, but I like the old art better, I believe. What did our opponent find? Ratchet Bomb. Alright, that's a way to deal with our tokens. Opponent passes. Ooh, I like Path here. Well, let's Path Thought Knot. Draw a card. We might just kill a Fulminator or a Tron piece to make sure that that's not a thing that can happen. See what we draw. Draw Swamp. Well, let's attack. If our opponent wants to dismember, I think that's fine. We can play another Gideon. So fire up Gideon. Attack with everything. Yeah, I think Approach is definitely the favorite for next week's Against the Odds. That's for sure. Tons of voting this week. Opponent does not kill it, by the looks. Down to 11. Well, in that case, we will just Fulminator. And, oh man, did they have double of any Tron pieces? I guess I gotta look back. Oh, they didn't have any Tron pieces in hand. Alright, so we will just kill a mine, since it's the nicer art. Just in case. And pass the turn. Thoughts on Banned Friends Foretold list? Ooh, that sounds spicy. I think we've done Legacy Storm Instant Deck Tech a long time ago. Geez, another Thought Knot. That's not bad for our opponent. Wow, that deck is super spicy. Malphus Revolutionary, Skyship Plunderer. Seems like a sweet, budget-friendly way of doubling up the counters. Huh. Well, let's get in with our spirits. Put our opponent to 9. Play Heart of Kieran. And I guess we just tick up Gideon here on Thought Knot. I mean, we're pretty close to just killing our opponent in the air with Heart of Kieran. I think if I was playing Fate Foretold, I would want to try to have more stuff to play on my opponent's turn. Some number of instants. Ooh, opponent's going to tick up. Interesting. That frees a way for us to flashback Lingering Souls. Feel like we're getting here with this one. You've lost to this guy? Oh my god. Well, that was a good draw. Good draw. Good draw. That's alright, that's alright, that's alright. We still got a Finks. We're going to have a Gideon that can attack because our opponent's last card is Dismember. Opponent passes. We draw a Plains. Well, play Gideon. I think we're still getting there. Our opponent's going to need like another... If they have double all his dust, then they got us. Tick up on Thought Knot. Crew up our Heart of Kirin. Put our opponent to 5. And flashback our Lingering Souls. Alright, so our opponent's... yeah, they're going to try to kill Heart of Kirin. The problem they have is their Dismember is going to be offline here in a second. Matter Reshaper. Alright, that's not a threat. Opponent still just has Dismember in hand. I think we're getting there. Still going to pull out a treasure chest. Ooh, another Souls. So, tick up our Thought Knot, or our Gideon, on Thought Knot. Crew up our Heart of Kirin. Opponent is going to kill it, but whatever. Go attacking. Opponent down to 3. They gotta sack the Ratchet Bomb. Now their Dismember can never be cast, so they're empty-handed. Then we'll just Lingering Souls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wonder how many wastes they have in their deck. Alright, let's just pass. Well, opponent needs another Ratchet Bomb off the top, or we got him with the Lingering Souls Gideon plan. Opponent goes attacking. We will just Spirit Jump to not let our opponent draw a card. More Lingering Souls. Well, let's go beatdowns. See if this finishes it. What could our opponent have that gets them out of this? Attack with everything. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 2 was the most common number. And, alright, so Eldrazi Tron down. Sweet. Well, we Gideon through that one. They probably should have left Ratchet on 1 and dismembered Heart of Kirin. That would have made more sense to me, but... Alright, so... After a bit of bad running, we're back up to 2-2, fighting for a treasure chest in the last round of our league. I mean, is there a reason to attack with Finks? Yeah, I guess that prevents a removal spell doing something. You should do something for us. Each person that says I love you should get a modern deck and 10 exhibition lands. We need the giveaways. Well, we have been doing giveaways, but that sounds like a crazy giveaway. That is true. Eldrazi Tron is more fair. More resilient, but more fair. Treasure chest is your prizes for doing well in a Magic Online tournament. Alright, we've only had one commercial break, 30 seconds. Be back for round number 5. Trying to get the 3-2, get the chest, gotta feed the kids. No, I do not actually have children. That's a running joke that we have about being paid in treasure chests. My salary from MTG Goldfish comes in treasure chests, so I have to have the treasure chest to feed the kids. Quintavious Flavius, 3 months in a row. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. What am I most looking forward to playing in Standard? Few answers. There's actually a lot of things. One of them is zombies. Super excited to play zombies. So that's one. Also, cycling / new perspectives combo. Not sure exactly what the deck will look like, but I think a mixed Pro Tour would be interesting, like they used to do with the SCG events. Oh, sweet Vile Shoe. Congrats. Oh boy. Back to this. Back to this, A-Deck. I feel like we've mulliganed more than usual this league, unfortunately. This hand is so close. If we could trade a card for a land, I'd keep it, but we can't keep the one-lander, even on the draw. Alright, this is not a bad 6, and we'll keep Thoughtseize, even though we can't turn 1 it. Bloodstained Mire for our opponent. So we get a chance to redeem ourselves against Jund. I do not believe the Moto Shuffler is rigged, no. I don't. I think it's more psychological than anything. I mean, mulligans are going to happen. Bad draws are going to happen. That's not rigged. That's normal and random. And I think that the bad things stick in our heads longer is a big deal. Stomping Grounds, so probably Jund. I think that Zombies is probably more likely for budget Magic, actually. I don't think Zombies is really against the odds. I wouldn't be surprised to see Zombies being competitive. But we will definitely be playing Zombies, but probably at budget Magic instead. Alright, land is fine. Well, let's just Thoughtseize. Is this burn again? What are we up against? I'm curious. These lands are throwing me for a loop. Opponent cracks. It might be burn. Have we ever gotten legitimately angry while playing Magic? Oh man, probably. Not very often, but I'm sure it's happened. I know it happened before when I first started playing in paper with my friends. I think I've told this story a few times, but I had one friend that would, I think it's why I love unfair decks now, but would show up to our super casual game with like Stasis and Isochron set. Oh god. I think our opponent has a lethal number of points of burn in their hand. 3, 6, 9, 12? I guess we got to take Boros Charm. 3, 6, 9, 12. Then we're not dead to a single bolt. This hand is still absurdly good. Yeah. So what's our plan for beating this? Gideon Emblem, Gideon Jura? I mean, we got ley lines in the sideboard. Well, the problem is they can just burn out the Gideon, which is not good. Oh, and we're actually at 14, so we are dead to one more burn spell. So I guess we play and start plussing Gideon to try to get enough loyalty that it doesn't die to one burn spell. There's a Lava Spike down to 11. I guess we also have Shambling Vents if we get to that point. Big Gideon? Little Gideon into Big Gideon would be pretty good. our opponent just going to burn us more here? Yeah, Gideon is good at eating burn spells. Lingering Souls. Well, Urborg. Play Gideon. So I think we got a plus here. Plus in the emblem next turn. My college experience was good. I enjoyed college. Very happy with Felidar Guardian banning. Think it's a very good choice. Alright, Stomping Grounds, no damage from you. Well, if our opponent throws 2 burn spells at Gideon, that's fine too. Then it gained us 6 life, and that's probably enough that we can stay in the game with Shambling Vents and our other stuff. So we kind of win either way there. If we're dead somehow, which I don't think our opponent's hand can do because Atarka's command is 2. I don't think they have cheap enough burn spells to kill us here. Riftbolt suspended. Okay. Drawing into just another Gideon would be great. I can't believe anyone's sad about it. Oh, I mean, I understand being sad if it got you with cards you bought. Like, that part of it is bad. And I don't like that. But as far as gameplay, Felidar Guardian banning should be great. We draw a Swamp. Well, let's Emblem Gideon. Play a Wall of Omens. Kinda just want to draw one more Gideon. And Atarka's command fizzles our life gain here anyway. Play Ghost Quarter, pass the turn. We might be in a position where we're getting out of this. It's going to be close. It does hurt Cat Tribal, but Cat Tribal, that wasn't going to be a good deck anyway. Like, it would be a fun deck, but it wasn't going to be like a real deck, I don't think. Here's my brew of Abzan Modern deck. Wouldn't mind looking at it. Yeah, let's see. Alright, there's the Skullcrack. Gideon down to 1. Oh, it's kind of green-white aggro with Anafenza. I think it looks good. The problem is, I don't think you have enough black mana to consistently cast Anafenza with just 4 mana confluence. So that would be my suggestion. I think it looks sweet overall, but you probably need more black mana. So Gideon's going to die. So Gideon down. Now I think we're going to Ghost Quarter end of turn on the green source. So this means our opponent can't leave up Atarka's command. You can email me deck lists if you want. It usually takes me a minute to respond, but you can email me, saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com. There's the Atarka's command, down to 5. Well, play the Swamp, and we're just going to start shambling. Yeah, they don't have to be forests is the reason this works. It's basically to get the Atarka's command out of their hands so they can't fizzle our life gain with Shambling Vents. Alright. Opponent had another Helix. Well, our opponent's about due to draw some lands and creatures and not do much. Or burn spells. Gideon? Marsh Flats. Well, play Wall of Omens. Draw a card. Concealed Courtyard. Pass the turn. Yeah, it still worked out. I mean, we still gain life. If our opponent just draws runner, burn spells, then they must have drawn a land there. Alright, there's a land. Opponent passes. Gideon? Yes, it's a Gideon! Whoo! In a nick of time. Well, we'll play Gideon. We will plus Gideon. Whoo, boy! Gideon's pretty good against Bird. Thank God. If you play a lot of Gideons, you draw a lot of Gideons. And Emblem back online before we die. We'll play Marsh Flats, I guess. Pass the turn. Oh, Tooth and Nail deck looks sweet. Got the Emrakul combo. I think you probably want Emrakul the Eon's Torn if you can afford it. If it's a budget consideration, that's fine. But I think Eon's Torn is better with Xenagos for the combo kill. But it looks sweet. What shell is best for approach? I would probably start with blue-white. Maybe with Pyramid of the Pantheon as the ramp. The deck list is here. Hey, what invocation did you get, Jay Zoller? Alright, Searing Blaze, our wall. Hits Gideon. Searing Blaze, our wall. Hits Gideon. Opponent. Gideon's gained us so much life, though. Gideon? More Gideons? Jura? That would be sweet. Gideon Jura would be really good. If I had to rank the new gods, I would rank the gods. Alright, let's just Lingering Souls. I think we just win because of all of the Archangel now, actually. Lingering Souls, Flashback Lingering Souls. And I guess we better play the land. Probably should have left white mana up, but it doesn't really matter. Rank the gods. God rankings would be green, black, blue, green, black, blue, white, red, I think, would be my rankings. I really think black is underrated. I think black could be close to green in the right deck. Green goes in more decks. And then the rest of them, blue, I think we'll see possibly some play as like a control finisher, but it won't be heavily played. And then did our opponent really draw another Skullcrack? They can't even Atarka's command. No way! Oh, wow. That's ridiculous. Well, now it looks like we might just lose here. Oh, that's so absurd. Alright, not dead yet. Man, if we're getting slow rolled, If we're getting slow rolled, I'm gonna cry. Let's try this one more time. Hopefully our opponent just whiffed there. And then we're back on track with not dying. Wow, that skull crack was so good. Okay. Back up to 6. A little bit of ways from being dead. Our opponent has to have 1 land in hand, because they would have killed us if they... Oh my goodness. Wow! Whew, that gave me a start. Wow, we almost lost to that skull crack off the top. Well, we got an easy plan. Kitchen Finks, Ley Lines of Sanctity, go down Thoughtseizes, go down Wrath of Gods, and Liliana. And just run it like this, I believe, probably. Whew, alright, we might get our chest, we might get our chest. We're so close to Gideon our way to a chest. Yeah, our opponent didn't have the mana for a Tarkus command, so I wasn't worried about that. They didn't have any green. Our Ghost Quarter was actually kind of good there. Needs even more Gideons. Can never have too many Gideons. I don't know about Path in Push. We didn't see creatures in our opponent's deck, and maybe they're not playing creatures and they're just playing spells. And then Path and Push are bad. But if they're playing the typical, like, Goblin Guide, Eidolon of Rhetoric, stuff like that, then we're in trouble. I don't know what happens if there's a Maniac 0 cards and Gideon with Gideon emblem. Hey, from the US, 123, how goes it? Curious about Little Creed Green Right could be combined with Green White Worship for a more aggressive deck with the natural hosing of Worship. Yeah, you could slot Worships into there, sure. I mean, I like hexproof creatures with Worship if you're going to try to lock, but if you just want to use it as a way to slow your opponent down, then yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah, when we did the Against the Odds version, we had Kytheon and the really bad one, Champion of Justice, in the sideboard. But we cut those for more real cards. Well, we're going to keep this 100% on the strength of Leyline. Based on what we saw from our opponent's build, they should really struggle to beat a Leyline. Leyline, scoop it up. Good game. Good game, well played. Inspiring Vantage, opponent passes. Now, let's just Marsh Flats. Gonna start thinning our deck a bit. We got way too many lands in hand. Hey, thanks, Neo. I think blue-white is better than Jeskai in Modern right now. There's the Goblin Guide. Alright, let's see what's on top of our deck. Reveals another land. Good God. So many lands. We're running out of lands to fetch for already. But we got a Leyline. We got a Leyline. There's a mountain. Removal? Non-land? Please non-land. Ah, more lands! If we die with a Leyline out. Going good, John Beans. How are you? Have I started brewing white-black tokens with Hidden Stockpile and Bantu? I made a white-black Aristocrats deck with Bantu, but it did not have Hidden Stockpile. But maybe it should have. Alright, what do we got on top? Heart of Kirin. I don't actually think we want to draw Heart of Kirin here. The old double strike the Goblin Guide plan with the Boros Charm. Not the best use of Boros Charm, only a shock. That makes me think our opponent's hand's pretty bad if that's what they're doing. Ooh, Kitchen Finks that's a A++. That's exactly what we needed to draw. I have never played lands in Legacy. I would, though. It sounds interesting. I think Plague Belcher is actually very underrated. There's a zombie card that I think is extremely underrated right now, and you'll never guess what it is. But I think it's the secret sauce to making zombies good, and it's not what you expect. More lands. Thanks, Worth. Well, we'll block the Goblin Guide. I mean, Plague Belcher is super good. Plague Belcher with, yeah, hit our swans, draw some cards. I play Seismic Assault sometimes. Plague Belcher is very good. I really love the synergy with Doom Dissenter, which I think is the best 2-drop for the zombie deck. Because you can play Doom Dissenter on turn 1, then you Belcher, kill the Doom Dissenter, on turn 2 rather. Turn 3, you Belcher, kill the Doom Dissenter. It becomes a 2/2, plus you get a 5/4 with upside in the Belcher. It's actually a really powerful start to a game. And I think you need Doom Dissenter anyway, just to fill out the curve in the deck. Opponent. Deflecting Palm. Man, our opponent's on the jankiest of jank burn plans at the moment. Double strike their Goblin Guide, Deflecting Palm your 2/1. They're trying to piece this together any way they can. Well, I just played the Grixis Ninjas deck and it did pretty well. I actually don't like white in zombies, personally. Nope. Alright, I'll tell you. It's the card that I have found to be absurdly powerful in zombies is actually Liliana's Majesty, the 5-mana enchantment. On paper, I thought that was a casual zombie card, and it was not good, but every time I have cast Liliana's Majesty, it has been absurdly powerful. It makes 6 power, the first one, and it usually adds another 3 to 4 power and toughness to the board, and then the second one is usually making like 12 power, 15 power split across multiple bodies. It's so good. Oh, Mastery, Majesty. Oh, what's the 5-mana enchantment? Did I say the wrong word? Is it Mastery? Oh, okay, Mastery then. But I have found that to be way better than I thought it was going to be. And some of the people that I've played against with it have thought that that's the difference they've noticed in zombie decks is Liliana's Mastery. Alright. More lands. Good God, this deck loves giving us lands. This is insane. This shows you the natural hosing power of Leyline. Because we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands. And we're here 12 lands out of, 16 cards out of our deck? And we're still actually sort of just winning because we have a Leyline. We have not drawn any real cards. We've drawn a Kitchen Finks, 2 Lingering Souls, in a Leyline in mono lands. And I don't know if our opponent brought in an answer, because the way they're playing, they don't feel like they're playing to eventually kill the Leyline. Because you don't double strike your Goblin Guide and Deflecting Palm a 2/2 if you think you're going to kill the Leyline eventually. The way our opponent's playing makes me think that they didn't bring in and out to the Leyline, which means treasure chest with Gideon.Gideon.deck. I mean, I was hoping that we'd have a better record, and looking back over our league, we really could have. Feels like we've crushed some decks, and we really got by variance in our losses. So I'm still very high on this deck, even though 3-2, I mean, is fine, but I still think this deck has potential. Oh, All right, let's just finish this the quickest way we can. They shouldn't have answers to our board, so let's just play a Ghost Quarter since we got so many lands. Play a Gideon. And we're just going to immediately Anthem. Flashback of Lingering Souls. I think the new Gideon's very strong. I've been very impressed with new Gideon in Modern. Opponent. Yep. Man, our opponent's a fighter. I will give our opponent that. If you don't have an out to ley line, I scoop turn 0 when I see the ley line come down. There's no way I'm staying and trying to fight through that, but alright, well, there you have it. Gideon Tribal, Gideon.deck, competitive league, ended up with a 3-2, so not the 5-0, but we beat Burn twice, we beat Eldrazi Tron, we lost to Jund where we mulled to 4 one game, and I think we mulled into 3 ley lines another game after winning game 1, and lost to Tron proper, which kind of a tradition, so I don't know. I think the deck is actually fairly real. It's got a lot of good cards, so. And of course we're gonna open the chest, and even better news, since we got the time, we're gonna close out the night and the week of streams with a Momir game. So if you're on the Momir list, get ready. Should pull that up. Let's see. Probably Frost. Maybe. I can never do this right. Yeah, this is the stream version. A few changes from the Against the Odd version. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you. Alright, before we open the chest, if you want to challenge someone on Magic Online, you first have to add them as a buddy. So go to the home page, click this Add Buddy button. Gonna pop up a box, type the person's name in there, for example, Saffron Olive, click Add Buddy, then they'll pop up on here on your buddy list, and then you can just right click on them, and challenge player is the bottom option. You can also like offer to trade with them and so forth, but challenge player is the bottom one. Then it just pops up a thing where you get to choose the format and so forth, the whatever, your deck, your format, etc. But that's how you do it. Anyway, let's open this treasure chest. We got one chest to open tonight. Hopefully, I mean, wouldn't it be fitting if it was a Gideon? It's gotta be a Gideon, right? It's gotta be a Gideon. All right, one chest for the night. What do we get? What do we get? Gideon? All right. Welding Sparks, Final Reward, and Crack Clan Ironworks, or Carrick Clan Ironworks, as I like to say before I get yelled at. Is Ironworks worth anything? I think it's gotta be. 3.73 tick. So actually not that bad. Not the worst. So alright. I mean, not bad. The treasure chest is only like 2.5 ticks. So our final reward is a Carrot Clan Ironworks. And Welding Sparks. Don't have a pun for that one. Well, that's our league for white black Gideon Tribal. But yeah, let's Momir it. Let's close things out with a game of Momir. If you've never seen Momir before, you're about to. So who's on the top of the Momir list tonight? Let me pull this up again. It's been lost in the chat. Momir list. So starting at the top, we have Foranic, Scratched, X-Storm, Sintrum, Drake and Vulture, Mirkin, .jpeg, getting down to Fearless Joe, Minokori. If any of you are interested in battling on, yeah, you can add me as a buddy. I mean, you can add me as a buddy. Anyone can, sure. Well, if anyone on the Momir list near the top wants to play, this is your chance to send me a challenge. If not, we'll open it up to the whole list. I think Death Shadow decks are safe. I can't even imagine them not being safe. But if Jay Zoller's around, he is the master of the list. Well, you're about to see what Momir is. It's a sweet, random, fun format on Magic Online that we like to use to close out streams. Alright, anyone on the Momir list, anyone at all on the Momir list, send me a challenge, I will accept. And then if no challenges from the list, we'll open it up to anyone at all. So first, list people, give you another 30 seconds or so. Who do we have? Zyron99. Are they on the list? Zyron's on the list. All right, we got our Momir challenger for the evening. Oh, sorry, Joel. Zyron beat you to it. You're still on the list for next time. Let me pull up the Momir lay. We got to have the Momir lay to explain what Momir is. And sweet. All right, it's Momir time. So, yeah, we'll keep this. Yeah, this hand's the nuts. It's the equivalent of having Inquisition, Heart of Kir, and 3 Gideons, the Momir version. Alright, Swamp for our opponent. So Momir, if you're not familiar with Momir, you start with this avatar. Your deck is 100% lands, and you start at 24 life. One time each turn, you can pay X, discard a card, which will be a land, and you get a random creature token, random token of a creature, I should say, of that converted mana cost. So, you never know. It's all creatures, no spells, nothing like that. Opponent's random 2-drop, Ephemerif Healer, 1/1 for 2, tap it to prevent a damage. Like the headband thing, whatever that's called. Looks sweet. We will make a 2-drop. Nimble Blade, Karna. Ooh, Amonkhet. Amonkhet in Momir. Not very good because we can never trigger Prowess because we have no spells. You have a lot of bulk? Where's Stu when you need him? We're on the draws so we can make a 3-drop. The goal of Momir is to primarily to get to 8 drops. Souls of the Faultless. Whenever it is dealt combat damage, you gain that much life. Attacking player loses that much life. Now, that could be good in the late game. Is there a reason? So these avatars are actually real paper things that Wizards printed a long time ago in the late 90s. There's a whole series of them. I think I wrote an article about them a long time ago because a lot of people don't actually know about them. And they have different abilities to make up for or down for, I guess, benefits or drawbacks based on their abilities. So you start with different life totals. I think some of them have you start with a different maximum hand size, so you start with 6 cards instead of 7, something like that. So Momir's ability just so happens to be you start with 4 extra life. Since we're both playing Momir, we both start with that amount of life. Opponent gets Wind Scouter. When it attacks or blocks, return it to its opponent's hand. 3/3 flyer. Not good because everything's a token. Knight of Obligation, also not good because we never cast anything. There are some auto-lose things. I don't usually skip 7 drops. I just never get Phage. I have never gotten Phage. Dark Dwellers, okay, 4/4 Menace. So in this format, mana ramp, anything that ramps mana, anything that draws or makes your opponent discard cards, anything that destroys lands or destroys creatures, those are what you're really looking for. Also, flyers are good. Flyers are very helpful because they're hard to block and there's no removal. So that's usually what Momir comes down to, are some combination of those things. It gets pretty crazy once it gets up to both players making 8 drops. Because there's a lot of haymakers at 8 mana. So 3/3 flyer, 4/5, not bad. We ended up 3-2, and one of our losses was very much to variance. We lost on a Moldifor. Our opponent got Glacial Stalker. Oh, okay. Just a 4/5 for 6, not very good. Yeah, so finished 3-2. Felt like we could have been 4-1. But I guess we could have lost some of the other ones as well, so I don't know. Still pretty high on the deck. I think it has potential to be pretty solid. I guess we take 4 for here. Hope we can block profitably next turn. Not worth giving up our flyer. Momir's still old, though, right? Are there 3 series of Vanguards? I think there's 3. Ooh, Monamoti Jin. That's a... Oh, I didn't attack. That was bad. So, red and black lands are for 2 reasons. The main one... Well, I had Menace, and I don't want to trade my flyer, and we couldn't kill it with our other creatures, so that's why we didn't block. So, red and black lands, 2 reasons. One is you want to minimize island walk abilities. Sphinx Ambassador was a mythic. So, island walk abilities are a thing, and they're super hard to deal with because you don't have removal. So, if you play a bunch of lands of every color and your opponent gets random big island walker or, I don't know, forest walker, you can just lose from that. Other reason is red and black have the best activated abilities. Most of the cards that say, like, I don't know, pay something, tap, kill a creature, or deal damage to a creature are in red or black. Ooh. We're going to get some sand tokens. I can't remember what these look like. I bet they're pretty sweet. Scornful Egotist is not the best 8-drop. Oh, yeah. Alright. Forget about this healer. I mean, this isn't really a blowout, but our opponent gets to block. What does this do? When it deals combat damage to a player, search that player's library for a card. That player chooses a card name. If you search for a creature card that doesn't have that name, you may put it on the battlefield under... Wait. Huh? Alright, so you search their library. You can search for anything, but if you search for a creature card, and it's not the card that they named, so your opponent guesses, and if they guess wrong, you get the creature? Huh. I kind of want to build a deck. There's other abilities sort of like this, and it might be a fun way to play a random blue commander deck that isn't absolutely miserable, like some of the red random decks or prison-y random decks. Alright, we'll give up our flyer. So, yep. Flyer down, Dark Dwellers down, we take 5. We're gonna get 1,000,000 sand tokens. Yes. So Sphinx Ambassador doesn't actually do anything in Momir. Yeah, I kind of want to do that. Is it legendary too? Oh, it's not. But Sphinx, has anyone played Sphinx Tribal? You should tell me. Yeah, I kind of... Alright, obtrusive interference, sure. I have this idea for a series of Momir, and I've had it for a really long time, but I keep doing other stuff, and I haven't gotten around to do it. But I think it could be really sweet. Sandstone... Oh, the Sand Warrior tokens are sweet. Double Knot 3679. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. You can always watch them on the replay YouTube. Eldrazi Devastator. It's just big. Pass the turn. We're actually kind of in danger to dying to Reaver Demon. I think it's possible that Gideon goes back up in price. Verdant Force for our opponent. We need a flyer here. Yeah, I found 2 halves of commander decks. That was sweet. Well, we block this thing. It takes 6. Well, flyer or bust. I should have named Pithing Needle. That's, that's a good call. Oh, boy. Alright, opponent sapling it up. Well, come on, flyer, or Platinum Empyrean. One or the other. Ooh, oh, Stormtide doesn't do it! They have flying. Alright, yep. Dead to flyers. I think I did something wrong that game. I don't remember what it was, but I did something wrong that probably could have prevented us from dying that turn. Oh, I shouldn't have attacked because of that healer preventing the damage. How was Commander Clash yesterday? Man, they announced the bannings right in the middle of Commander Clash. I'm trying to record Commander Clash, and people are like frantically tweeting at me that randomly at 8 o'clock at night they banned Felidar Guardian of all things. But it was sweet. It was Theros, no, not Theros, Amonkhet God Week. So everyone got a god, and I was pretty happy with how my deck turned out. I think there were some surprising things. Some of the decks were not what you would expect when you just think of the gods in Commander, and I was really happy with how my deck turned out. Is there a cheap way to play Moto? Oh, this is the worst. Can't attack or block unless it's equipped. And it's never going to be equipped. That one won't go on the website until next week because it's kind of a week behind to get the editing and stuff done. So this week there's an episode going up, which is... Geez. I actually don't remember what episode we recorded last week. But next week will be Amonkhet Gods. Sacrifice it, destroy target attacking creature. Ooh. That's actually pretty good. It's going to stop something big in the late game. Yeah, so there are cheap ways to play Magic Online. Like Penny Dreadful, like Pauper. I live in the Eastern time zone of the US. Maybe there is a creature. I don't know. I don't think there is a creature that makes an equipment token. Maybe in Commander or something. Eulogy for Sensei's Divining Top? That's a sweet idea. Why don't I ever cast my Commander? I don't have a good answer for that. I forget that it exists because I can't see it. I don't know. In my defense, ooh, this would be good if our opponent didn't have Mindbearer. Swampwalk is sweet. In my defense, some of my decks are not built around the Commander. I mean, some are, but the Commander is just kind of like a placeholder to make an idea work. Berserker Merlindant. Whenever a beast becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 for each creature blocking it. Oh, but Nahiri's not a creature, right? It's a planeswalker. It does make an equipment, though. You're right. I live in New York. What's up, Mind Trick? How goes it? Opponent zombieing in. If a zombie you would control deal damage to a player and so that opponent puts that many cards from the top of her library in your graveyard. So can I just kill this? What am I misunderstanding? This just trades? Okay. That works. For some reason I thought that had some ability where it didn't die easily, but I guess I'm wrong. Am I going to GP Cleveland? I have not. Ooh, yes! And that gets rid of that Mindbearer. Now we get to Street Wraith. The little-known creature mode of Street Wraith. The beat-down Swampwalker. I have not thought about GP Cleveland at all. Hey, I'm doing well, Ostrich Guy. Welcome, by the way, to the stream. Momir decks, you can only have basics, and then you put the Momir avatar in your sideboard. So 60 basic lands. It's nice to have some number of the other ones just in case. There are rare instances where you get an ability where you really want another color. Like if you hit a white tapper in your 2-drop slot or 1-drop slot, that's actually something that is worth playing a planes for a lot of times. So it's nice to have the ability to occasionally draw into them if you need them. But I do know some people that play nothing. Oh no. Oh, I guess that's good for me. Okay. Oh, yeah. I do know some people that don't play other colors of mana. What would it take to get you on my team for sealed? Oh, geez. I don't know. Is that in Cleveland? Will Gideon Tribal be good in Standard? I'm probably going to try it. I don't know what's going to be good. Oh, Gorilla Gargantuan. Beginning your upkeep, you can sacrifice a forest. If you sack a snow forest this way, it gains trample and end of turn. If you don't sacrifice a forest, sacrifice the gorilla and it deals 7 to you. You can tap it, it deals power. It deals... Oh, it fights a creature. Oh, this card, it's so bad. How do you build a Momir deck? You just put all lands in your deck. You got to get the Momir avatar, which you can either get from the Magic Online store, and I think it's $10, and it actually comes with the full deck. You get all the lands too. Although lands are super cheap, so... Man, I keep getting Storm Tides. That's actually not good for us here. Lands are super cheap, so the financial part isn't good, but the avatar is about $10-ish. You can also get them from a bot. Will I ever do another Against Odds in Vintage? I expect that it'll happen eventually, but I wouldn't expect it to happen all the time, or often. I didn't think our opponent would actually sack forests. I thought they would just let it die and take 7. Usually you don't. I hardly ever sack lands. If I get something that makes me sack a land, I almost always just let it die. Shadow of the Grave News Constrictor Fling combo. It seems interesting. I think it might end up being more against the odds, or closer to against the odds than tier 1, but it seems like a really sweet combo. Well, I'll have to see if I'm going to make it to Cleveland. I'll keep it in mind if I get to Cleveland. Well, that's Island Walk. I think now we can just wait till our opponent dies to their gorilla. Well, you normally run out of cards at 8 mana, so you can't keep playing lands without skipping a drop. And once you're at 8 drops, it's hard to skip. But occasionally, if you hit a way to draw extra cards or something, then you go up to higher mana. Try to get an Eldrazi. Occasionally you get all the way to 15 and get an Emrakul, and that's pretty much always game over. I'm considering HasCon just because of the pre-release. I was not interested in HasCon at all before the pre-release for Iconic Masters, but the Iconic Masters pre-release sounds so unique and so sweet that I kind of want to go just because of that. We played Gideon Tribal in Modern. Alpha Tyrannix. Definitely cast some of these in Scars Limited. Probably should not have been, but I was. Alright, on to game 3 of our Momir match. Yeah, 12s and 15s are pretty good. Yeah, Gorilla's only a 6/6 actually. The Gorilla's not very good. We went 3-2 tonight in the league. And yeah, I mean, we beat Eldrazi Tron, beat Burn, lost to normal Tron, and lost a really frustrating one to Jun where we lost game 3 on a Moldifor. That was pretty disappointing. So that was the one match that I was kind of disappointed with how it went. No unglued or unhinged cards on Magic Online, so you can't actually get them. Barney Stinson. I don't think I know Barney Stinson. Alright. Give itself +2 plus... oh, it gets haste? Ah! Oh, man. Oh, that's so bad. We played Gideon Tribal. I didn't realize that gave itself haste. Opponent gets a flyer. Okay. Deck did pretty good. Ended up 3-2 in our league, which wanted to be better than that. But we had one match that was really rough due to some mulligan issues. Moldifor in a game 3 against Jun that was pretty bad. But I'm still pretty high on the deck. I think it actually can be at least a semi-legit deck in Modern. We have a new subscriber, Valkyrie Noel. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big scoops cheer for our new subscriber. Opponent making a 5, getting a crab apple core. Not super scary. I have no idea what to expect for Iconic Masters. I have no clue. With no reserve list cards, and Iconic is just such a weird way to market. Ooh, that's a good one. We will attack with that. I know that one has haste. It's such a weird way to market the set. Yeah, and you learn a lot of cool cards that you don't see other places. Also a good way to just kind of practice on-board stuff in combat. It makes you do math and think through pretty complex board states. Lots of on-board abilities and weird combats and stuff. So there is some benefits to it for regular Magic. What deck am I most excited to play for Amonkhet Standard? Really excited for Zombies. Also some sort of cycling New Perspectives combo deck. Opponent gets in. Yep. Down to 18. Well, let's make us a 6-drop. All damage will be dealt to you or another permanent you control is dealt to Palisade Giant instead. Ooh. That's actually not that good. It's just going to die immediately. But we get to get in with Storm Breath and not take any damage this turn. It's like a 6-mana fog. I think that that's probably what they got to do with Iconic Masters is some sort of printing gimmick. Like Richard mentioned on the podcast, everything's like a masterpiece of some kind, like some sort of unique border. I think old borders would be sweet. I would be totally on board with it being Tarmogoyfs and Grizzlebrands and modern staples, but with original border. Some of, like, they did the promos, I think they're judge promos of the sword cycle with the old borders, and they look so cool. So I think that would be awesome to see old border Iconic Masters. Not doing the Streamer Showdown. We're streaming Modern and now closing things up with a game of Momir. Yeah, brown border artifacts were sweet. 3/5 flying lifelink. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to make a 7. Hopefully we get something good here. Come on, non-phage. Raska Golden Club. Not what we were hoping for. Well, our opponent could have just made it indestructible. Didn't our opponent attack with all their mana ups? Like, no. You play Jund mana and hit the Jund Elder Dragon? Oh my god. Opponent. Well, this is fine. This Elder Dragon's going to be a problem if it stays alive. Alright, now we'll kill the souls. 3 and 2 with Gideons tonight. Yeah, it's actually a reverse lifelink. When it's dealt damage, you gain that much life. Down to 13. Well, we're to the 8-drop slot. That's where we need to be. We do have to deal with this Elder Dragon. Wolfpack. No! Are we literally dead to the Elder Dragon? 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Well, we're not just dead, but we're not in a great position. Actually, are we just dead if we don't jump? I think so. Ay. Alright, block that thing. Monstrous costs us 7 mana, so we gotta skip our turn to Monstrous. That's the thing. Down to 6. Opponent gets a Synchronous Sliver. Well, this is it. We need Bounce Kraken, Hoverguard Sweepers, something along those lines to not lose here. Not Overseer. Do we live one more turn? I think we live at 1 life. So we get 1 more shot at removal. 1 try. Yeah, I never get mana flooded, mana screwed. Always perfect in Momir. Well, I think we get 1 more shot at something, but we gotta chump with Storm Breath. Yep. Well, alright. Block the Elder Dragon. Down to 1. This is it. We gotta hit something super good. We didn't play a 2-drop this game. Huh? Can't attack unless defending player controls an island. Red Cliffs Armada. Well, our Overseer grows. We get 1 more shot at it. Gotta be Mass Bounce. Naya Soul Beast. I don't even know what that card does. Naya Soul Beast. Oh, reveal top card of your library. That's a pretty bad 8-drop. Yep, the Momir losing streak is on. Good game, Zyron. Good game, good game. Can't win at Momir, but at least Gideon's were pretty sweet. If I went to HashCon, it would be for just the experience of it. I love the idea of going back to the blind pre-release, so I think that's the part that's exciting for me, is just, and we'll see if it even works. I halfway expect that the cards will get leaked out somehow beforehand. That's true. Naya Soul Beast could be good in Commander. That's a good point. So, I don't know. Anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for tonight. So, what do we got coming up? Standard video with Chaz tonight, talking about the top Amonkhet cards. Commander Clash tomorrow, normal stuff over the weekends. Should have a box opening video in there for Amonkhet, articles, all that stuff. Budget Magic featuring Amonkhet coming Monday. And then, of course, we'll be back here again on Tuesday and probably start exploring some Amonkhet Standard. I'm really excited for Standard now that Guardian's banned. So, on the way out the door, replay YouTube. If you missed any of this stream, want to see old streams, you can check them out there. The normal YouTube. Hey, that's a perfect invocation, Jay Zoller. Honestly, though, like, every invocation is a counter spell, so, normal YouTube, that's where you can find more Gideon games from Against the Odds, Budget Magic, Commander Clash, all that stuff. And the merch page if you're looking for another way to support the stream and channel insight. But thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. It was a fun one. We got to Gideon. We got to Momir. So anyway, thanks also to the subs. Definitely appreciate all the subs tonight. Thank you for the support. Very much appreciated. Anyway, I think that does it. So have an awesome weekend. Have a great weekend, great night, and yeah, I'll be back here on Tuesday with another one. So in the meantime, have a good time, and I will talk to you soon.